Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome to Coping with Life, Disabled and Mentally Ill. I'm your host, Scott. I am back. Now, I am under the weather. I am not doing well. But, whoo, do we have a lot of talk about? Yeah. So a couple things. Congratulations to William Byron for winning the Daytona 500. The Philadelphia Eagles winning the big game. Congratulations. And the biggest congratulations of them all is me. Why? Well, I got to do amazing things. And now I am paying for them. Couple questions. That I will be answering is total cost. I did not buy a lot of things, material things for myself. I did buy a few things for other people that they've been sent or will be hand delivered when I am not sick. And I don't know when that will be. So thank you so much for putting up with my PREs, my pre-recorded episode, which I did right before I went to the airport. And thank you so much for the ability to do that. I definitely needed, because not feeling the best, and it's been coming in waves. But I'm really excited to talk about my trip. Now, I got stories. Like, I got stories upon stories. And not all of them are good. Which, one of my favorite things that's not good happened at the very end. Very end of my trip. Everything was going well. And fatigue. Fatigue hit pretty hard. Here I am. I went down to Shinjuku, where the 3D cat was. The intersection, I went 5 to 6 times while I was there. That was a huge reason why I went. And that webcam of the 3D cat on the internet that I watch is not on anymore. I stayed up a couple of about what was it? 8-9 days ago. And I watched basically the final moments before they turned the webcam off because of they're demolishing the building adjacent to the billboard. And that goes a long ways. And so basically I knew that the webcam was being turned off at the end of December. So again, my trip was already solid, and very, very glad that I was able to experience the 3D cat, and but I went, and a lot of things in Japan doesn't open until 11 a.m. and I was usually out of my hotel by 9. And I wanted to spend some of my yen that I still had. I still have a lot of yen, which when I went there, the yen was 158 to $1. As of now, it was about 151, 20. So 100, 50, yen to $1. So, which is okay. I mean, in late August, it dropped to like 130, 2 or 34. So, I mean, it fluctuates. But when I went, it was 158, which really didn't matter. But it's good to know. However, so I was at Shinjuku Station going to Shinjuku after buying a few things from Big Hammer. And I'm fatigued. I'm going to be traveling the next day to come back to the States via Canada. And, you know, I'm an expert, so I'm standing behind in the yellow line. The door is open. I follow people. And then I needed to essentially take one more step. But since I am a large, wide person, the door is closed on me. And they don't reopen. They keep on squeezing. And the car that I was on was a sardine can. So I'm not gonna go forward. So I went backwards. And the shoes that I wear, thankfully for myself, the shoe essentially saved my life because I got my head out of the way and I fell. I ate dirt really hard. Nobody was behind me, thankfully. And my shoe was stuck in the train car. And I'm very thankful, and, you know, nobody cared. I did get my shoe back. Not gonna go and tell that story, but I got my shoe back. And I dusted myself off, licked my embarrassment. But that was something that didn't go very well, you know. And, you know, when you're following all these people and you're last in line and, you know, trains are going to go. And, but, you know, normally, you know, that's a negative, but it's not for me. Because, A, it makes a good story, and I'm all about good stories. And so I was there for about 13 days. And I went to the Ueno Zoo. I saw a panda. So on January 14th and 15th, I do believe, were the days. No, it was 15th and 16th. where, I'm already there a week. But if you know anything about me, I have chronic depression. I fight that every single day. And these 2 days that I had things planned got really hard for me. And I kept on doing things. So I went to the UN Zoo and making the purchase. Everything was good. Stood in line to see pandas. And then I slowly I was not mentally well. Because I wanted to do other things, Still early in the day. It was about, I got there just after they opened, they opened about 9:30. I got there about 10. Because transit, and then walking there, and and then waiting an hour and a half to see pandas. They have 2, and I really love how they do things there. And I would have saw more of the zoo, but my mental health was not there. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go back to my hotel, call it a day, which I did, because the next day was a longer day where I was going to Capra, which I wanted to wait until the day that I had the Azoria Cafe reservations, and here I am going to spend hundreds of dollars of USD, which did not happen, because I had that planned. I budgeted that I'm gonna have lots of foods, lots of drinks, and buy Final Fantasy merch. That did not happen, because the day I went, they didn't have any more coasters. When you spend 1,000 yen or more, you get coasters that of various summons or whatnot. Oh, it feels slimy. And here I am trying to and everything that was going on, and they basically said that they didn't have a lot of food options. So I got a meat platter, tried lamb for the very first time, which was okay. But they didn't have a lot of merch items. I bought a few things for other people there. Got me something, but they so they didn't have a lot of items that they usually offer, and I wasn't the only English spoken person who also felt a little disappointment. I was sitting next to 3 people who also was kind of disappointed, and it was actually interesting, because Japan is a big place, and not only that, here you're dealing with several everybody is doing their own thing. I ran into these same three people a week and a half later at the airport, right before I'm boarding my plane. They're taking a different plane, but we were just in the same terminal and just happened to run into each other. I said hi, and they remembered me from the Final Fantasy XIV Cafe. I just thought that was really cool and really weird that I ran into the same person, the same people, on the same trip. And don't know their names, don't know anything about them, just the small little conversation that we had of not having the best time. So the way that the Luri Cafe, they charge you 1,200 yen, basically just sitting. You get a free drink with that. And normally you get a coaster and a few other things, but they didn't really have a lot of things in the Akihabara area. And so I didn't spend as much yen as I planned to. Which was a blessing because I could help other people. Somebody asked me if I could do something for them, and with the yen that I saved, I was able to do that, and that was a non-issue for me. And the food and drinks that I had there was amazing. I do plan on going back eventually, because sometimes you go on off days, and that happens at a lot of places. So I'm planning to go back. When I do everything, I have a plan and roughly do that. So these were back to back, not the best days, and dealing with that. I really had a lot of fun trying new things, and I went to the Tokyo Station, went to the Pokemon Center there, went to the Kamen Rider store, and just I explored. I did not do a lot of touristy things. I really, really enjoyed my time there. Now, for complete transparency, I had ideas of what I would have liked to do, and just for my mental health and stability, and just pacing myself. I did not do any nightlife things, and I'm okay. I'm 100% okay with those decisions. And I was usually out of my hotel by 9 a.m. and I would be usually back into my hotel about 2 p.m. There was a couple days where 5 p.m. But other than that, that was and then just relaxed and kept on that pace, which I'm really okay with. I had lots of food. I tried many great places, and where I was, the hotel that I was staying at had no or very little English speaking, and so got to do a lot of things. And with me doing things for culture and doing the right things and saying the right things, so helpful, so grateful. And especially, I'm really okay that I'm sick now, because I had a great time, and it being, a couple weeks later, and I'm just, my body is like, okay, we get sick now, and trying to get situated, and I really needed the time, because it's been rough. So the pre-recorded, they're done, and I have so much to talk about, and if if everything went well and I was not battling the stuff that I'm battling in sickness, and I would have loved to do my predictions for everything else that I do, but when you have a lot of mental health issues, on a mental health podcast, I'm going to do what's best for me. And thank you for listening. And I do apologize that, they were short, but, I love you all. I care. And they were all done same day, right before I'm heading to the airport, and that entire trip. So I leave my apartment. I meet up with my mom. Give her my keys, and so I'm going to Canada and going through the custom process there to then wait the next day to go to Japan. And, I'm taking things. I'm up for several days because I couldn't sleep. If you listen to the PREs, I'm wired, I'm tired, and it's a long day. And here I am. Okay, once I get on the pair from Canada, I can sleep. That did not happen because mental health and things, just I could not sleep. So I love flying. I will find any reason to fly because I love flying. This flight was not fun for me. on many different levels, and I'm miserable, and the people sitting next to me also making me miserable because I cannot get comfy. I cannot. And every time that I try to sleep, like there was a few times where I'm right about getting sleep, and then somebody bumps me. I'm in the aisle. I am a 6'5", 389-pound wide person, and I keep on getting bumped into, and I'm just, I'm big man, tiny feet, and I'm trying my best. So I'm now still up, and then I have to. So right before I get off, we're in the landing protocol. She's ready to coffee it. So we're in our landing protocol. We're on our descent. And I don't have my ears in, because my ears are really sensitive. So I don't have music playing. And I'm very sensitive. And so we're descent and this huge buzzing sound, and I'm now getting sick. Like throwing up sick, and I'm not feeling well, and we're landing. There's the sound that is hurting, and so I throw up. I have the little throw up bag, and we're landing, and people were kind of laughing. It's like, oh, and I'm sick, I am miserable, and I have about 2.5, 3 hours to get to my hotel. We land, and then I have an hour to go through custom stuff. It's vastly busy, and just stand in line and walk in. I am sick, and then I throw up. I'm up. I'm tired, and I'm just absolutely miserable. And then I go to the Cathay Skyliner ticket place, get my QR code scanned because I was pre-purchased, and then I got my seat. And then it was an hour to there, and then I had my Suica card, went, and then I make it to Ikeboro, where I'm, again, not feeling well. I get motion sick. I'm standing. I have all my bags, and at this point, my bags, to me, feel like, they're carrying ginormous cement bricks. Just all the weight is adding in. Here I am going in. I'm literally a couple stops from the station that I need to get off to walk to my hotel. But I'm at Ikeboro, and I'm gonna throw up again. And it's just water, clear liquid that I'm throwing up. We get to the stop. I'm already about to hurl again, and I go get off the train, and I hurl several times. I take off my hoodie because I'm burning up, even though it's really cold. But I'm like super hot, and so I go in and I sit down and I'm hurling, and I'm like, this stuff I'm not gonna enjoy. so I'm sitting there with all my bags, and I'm sitting next to all the liquid that I'm throwing up, and I'm just sitting there, and I'm just like, I'm out of it, and I get a lot of weird looks, like, well, Gaijin can't hold his liquor, It's 5 something p.m. at this point, and I'm like, I'm miserable, and I'm sitting down, and I basically bargain with my body at this point that I've been doing the entire time. It's like, look, give me 1 hour, and we'll get to bed. Let's get to the hotel, and we'll sleep. And so here I am, not feeling the best, and I'm like, okay. And travel sickness is a thing, and it happens a lot of things, and I'm like, okay. It will get worse. And so I get to the Shin-Okubo, and then I walk to the hotel. And I'm not well, and there's people who are, oh, you should come in here. Look at the art gallery, and I'm like, yeah, no, I need to go somewhere, and so I walk, get to my hotel, and I check in. Amazing people at my hotel. I know a few other people may have had issues, but I wholeheartedly had so much fun, and these people at the hotel were amazing. Now, was it also because I was staying for 13 days and just are really nice, and being happy and actually care about their culture and try to speak Japanese. And so I get to my hotel room, and I sit down, and I'm like, okay, I'm like, okay, so I'm sitting down, and I'm calmed down, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get food. I'm going to go to the convenience. I'm going to go get some food. And get liquids. And I did. Lucky for me, the convenience was across the street. How convenient. And I went and got a few things. And the stuff that I didn't eat, I put in the fridge that I had in my room. And I had the next day. But the next day, I'm not having a good day for many reasons, and for the couple days I had bathroom issues, but I dealt with that. I made the best of it. And so, was usually out by 9 a.m., back about 3, just because lots of walking. I walked, on an average every single day, about 9,000 steps. Some days were 14,000 steps, but most of them was about 10,000 steps a day. I did a lot of walking, and I lasted myself a lot, and had lots of good food, and had good conversations with a few people, and saw the 3D cat a couple times, and I didn't do tourist stuff. I wanted to explore. I wanted to just find places, walk, and I'm gonna go down this road. I'm gonna go down this road. I'm gonna go down this alley. And that's what I did. And I went different places each day. There was a few places that I chose not to go until specific days, like Ueno Station, Akihabara, because I knew if I went to Akihabara before the set day, I was probably going to be spending way too much money on game consoles and stuff, and I had limited space, which the next time that I go will not be the case, because, the next time I go, I want to buy some material things. This one, I just wanted to enjoy and explore, which I did. And I had some good conversations, interviewed, I got interviewed by a Japanese comedian who challenged me to eat. That did not happen because of the language barrier, but I did sign all the release forms and the waivers and stuff, and if they called me, which they did not, which I had to stay in the area about 6 p.m. And at the time of the interview, it was about 11 a.m. So, it was one of the longer days, which is okay. But I had so much fun, and I learned a lot. And I didn't really have any really bad days. I had days that just happened. And doing my best, and just enjoyed things. I took the train almost every single day. I got a lot of good food. I had a lot of hot chocolate, because the vending machines with hot chocolate in it was amazing hot drinks. And I all the things. Had a lot of monsters, and it was a lot of interesting things. I watched a lot of Japanese TV, and one of the interesting things that happened was one of the nights early on, there was a earthquake in the South Sea of Kyushu. And so here I am watching Japanese TV, and they showcasing just how they do tsunami warnings and all that information real time. I learned so much, and I really enjoyed just learning that aspect. And that always makes me happy when I can learn things. And so that makes me happy. And again, it was only it wasn't affecting where I was. So I was fine. I was good. And I'm living literally the best life, being able to experience that. I had some great pizzas. I had great food. I had a croissant and oranges every single day. If you don't know this, I love my oranges. And just doing things and just trying things. And one of the biggest things that I was doing is going through my list of things that I had, what I wanted to do, what I wanted to try. And then at the very end of my trip, I'm like, I'm gonna save for the next time, because I really want to go back, and so I want to save. It's gonna be a while. So I'm going to try and do anything to save to go back. One of the things that is going to be needed is there's just a lot of things what I want to do. So I'm going to go back eventually, hopefully. That's my goal. My goal is to save up money to go back. And I have a list of things that I want to do, what I want to get. I watched a lot of the sumo tournament. And that was cool. That was really interesting. And just I had so much fun. And I sorry, my brain is foggy, especially because I'm not feeling well. I'm sick. And I'm trying really hard not to cough and sneeze. So there's been a lot of pausing so I can get the grime and slime out of my body. And I think next week, I don't know what next week is going to be, but I think it's probably going to be a continuation of talking about Japan. I went to Shibuya and did the Shibuya crossing. That was one of the few touristy things that I had to do. And I explored one of my favorite things. One of my favorite things that I discovered just going down alleys and things was I discovered a Taco Bell. Now, across the way from Taco Bell was an adult shop. And I thought that was the most hilarious thing. Because an adult shop across the way from Taco Bell, which was funny. I did not go to the Taco Bell, nor did I go to the adult shop. I did go to one American restaurant while I was there. I went to Carl's Jr., which that food was so amazing. I had lots of fun. And it was great to order food and learning, and it was definitely a learning experience. I had so much fun, and it was definitely a blessing. I got very, very comfortable taking the trains and walking and learning everything and being respectful and one of the things that one of the last things that I'm going to say for this part is a lot of people were telling me, oh, the guiding seat, when you sit on a train, nobody's gonna go near you. That wasn't the case. That was not the case whatsoever. For me, there was a lot of people who sat next to me, didn't talk because, they're doing their thing, I'm doing my thing, and just being respectful. But, yeah. There was only one person that, when I sat down, they did not like that, and they got up and left, and I'm like, okay. And then the next stop, people sat right next to me, and that was, I get it. Not everybody wants to sit next to a ginormous person, but some people didn't care. And I know that's not always the case. But and some people tried having a conversation with me, and I did my best. But all in all, I had a blast. It was a dream vacation, a dream trip. But I'm going to let you go for this week. Thank you so much for being here. I love you all. Hopefully I'm feeling a lot better next week. But until then, chase your dreams, love life, and I love you all. Thank you so much for being you. Until next time, I bid you all adieu.